Hi, this is Sean, and in this lesson we're going to look at how to fill in a place where you might get 2 bars of one chord. We're going to do this on a simple level for people just starting out and know their first few standards, and we're going to do it at a more advanced level using the Barry Harris method. Please do hit like on this video, it really helps to push it out on YouTube and spread the word, and if it's your first time, please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when I upload new content. And with that, I'm ready to begin. So I'm going to be using a couple of tunes that originally have this 2 bars of one chord thing going on, and they're both AABA tunes. So for new people, AABA just means that you have one section, then another A section which is about the same. They often end differently because they're going to join to different things, and then a B section, and then finally another A section which is pretty much the same as the first one. Okay, so this tune I'm going to be using is The Nearness of You. Let me just play a few bars for anybody who hasn't heard it before. The same sort of thing again. This is where you would typically get the 2 bars of one. You can see I've put in another chord, and then you've got the B section, right? So let's see what we should do with that, or what we could do with that. Well, one thing, as you can probably see, I've put in a B flat minor 6 in brackets because it was optional for my newer students. B flat minor 6 is what we would call a 4 minor 6 in music. 4 minor 6 is 1 in the key of F, 1, 2, 3, 4, because we are in the key of F, and we build a minor 6 chord. For newer people, minor 6, start with a major 6, B flat major triad. Add the 6th on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the B flat major scale. Now if you flat the 3, that's a major 6. If you flat the 3, you get a minor 6. Sometimes people think a minor 6 has this flat 6. It does not. That's a minor 6, okay? Now the minor 6 chord has this kind of unsettled but beautiful quality of wanting to go and land home. So it's this sort of sound. Okay? There's a 4 minor 6 leading home. Something like that. So you get the idea. Now, the simplest thing you could do is just put a 4 minor 6 halfway through the first bar, as I have done. The first bar of those 2 bars of F. Why is it F6, by the way, not F major 7? Certainly for this area until the melody comes back in. So certainly for that first area where those F6s are written. Because when you get an F in the melody, you want to go for F6, not F major 7, okay? Because the 7th will rub against the root. So you can do things like just take inversions up and down and get wonderful effects. It's something that a lot of people are missing in jazz study. They're going for the craziest, hardest concepts and missing out the simple foundational things that are the most beautiful for me. So for example, let's take just the F6 chord. I'm just taking random F6 notes in the left hand, but in the right hand taking inversions. Now let's do the same on B flat minor 6. Notice I went down in the left hand that time and ended up on an F major 7, which you can do. It's not written in stone that note has to last as long as it is actually written. If you're playing for a singer or a sax player and they do hold it, then you have to be more sensitive. That's where you've got to listen, and these things happen spontaneously. But it's fine for me to come out on an F major 7 because I'm playing on my own. And I'm not holding that F for that long. So other things you could do, you could start to play random inversions. For example, started on F, 6 with F at the top, F at the bottom. F in the middle, like that. So I'm hearing this and just making that the top of an inversion, right? So let's see if I can do the same on the B flat minor 6. I don't think that's right. Let's see. 1 6 3 5. 1 6 3 5. So 1 6 3 5. It should be like that, shouldn't it? Okay, let's go again. So 1 6 3 5. 1 6 3 5. That I really like. Let's try it. So of course you need to get solid with your inversions for that sort of thing to happen. If it's too quick for you, that's fine. Halve the amount of inversions you use. So for example, notice how the left hand kind of played more eighth notes to fill in the time. That's the sort of thing you do. Okay, just looking at another tune here where we'll start to do some more movement type stuff from the Barry Harris method. This one's in the key of C. I can't get started with you. And I just remember that it has a similar thing going on where you've got 2 bars of C. Somebody's already put a B flat 7 in there, and we'll see why. Actually, that's also based, if you watched the first part of this video, that is also based on 4 minor 6. Let's find out why and what to do with it. So 4 minor 6, as I was saying in the earlier part, in the key of C now. We did it in the key of F before because of the other song. In the key of C, F is 4, so here's a major 6, F major 6, flat the 3, and you get F minor 6, okay? So initially that would have been an F minor 6, or it would have been nothing. But this comes from an F minor 6, because if I take the F minor 6 as my fill, as we did in the first part, then we could go to C major 7, that's fine. We have to have C6 on the first one because C's in the melody. We don't put C major 7 against a C6. But if you take that F minor 6 and put it over a B flat 7 shell, a 1 7 in the left, notice I'm mostly playing right hand chords. That's something a lot of people need to get into because they've bought into the idea that it's always chord in the left hand and always melody in the right hand. Only at certain time periods of jazz later on and on tunes where there are eighth notes. Otherwise, most of the greats didn't do that. Not before that sort of 1958-ish period. So anyway, you see, that's a substitution for 4 minor 6 once I put the B flat 7 shell in there. That's why it goes home. It's not because it's the B flat 7 is some sort of weird substitution that's, you know, a dominant going to C. It's really just a 4 minor 6 substitution. Even if you play it, if you can use the 4 minor 6 chord movements from Barry Harris, you're really onto something. So let's see how we can use chord movements here. So C major, especially seeing as we're dealing with C major 6 there at the beginning of that second time bar. Here's the C major 6 with a D diminished to make a scale of chords. You can see me teaching this on lots of other videos. I'll link a playlist somewhere, either below or at the end of this video. So you go C6, D diminished. A C6 inversion, D diminished. C6 inversion, D diminished. C6 inversion, D diminished. And there's your scale of chords. So we could also learn, seeing as we're here, the F minor 6 diminished. So that's an F minor 6 chord plus a G diminished. The diminished is always on the second degree. Okay, another F minor 6, inverted, G diminished inverted, etc. F minor 6 inverted, careful on this one, G diminished inverted, F minor 6 inverted, G diminished inverted, and then we're back home to F minor 6. So we can do stuff, practice those up and down, get really, really good at them, okay? Stuff like that. So there's a C6. Don't worry about the left hand for now. C6, D diminished, C6 to another C6. We'll see why in a minute. And then the same pattern on F6. F minor 6, I should say. G diminished, F minor 6, another F minor 6, and then back home to a C major 7, for example. So let's see what's going on. Why did I go C6, D diminished, C6, C6? because the diminished in C major 6 diminished doesn't lead to F. Sometimes we get lucky and the diminished in our scale is also the diminished in the following scale. But as we saw, the following scale, F minor 6, the diminished for that is G diminished, not D diminished. So they don't get joined by that diminished, and therefore I'll normally be square again. I'll be whole and complete on a C major 6 before moving to the next chord. So C6, let's take some contrary motion here. So major 6, I'll just keep my C at the bottom for a bit of tension. Major 6, diminished, major 6, major 6. Now in F minor. Okay, now you've got to be able to do it quick if the song's quick, of course. Let's see. Can be done. And if it's too quick, here's some other options. So here's one and 2 and. Let's see what's going on. These are C6 notes. Going to notice how I didn't move the E. So sometimes I don't move all the notes. Quite often, actually, you get a risk of filling the comments here below the video. You get a slightly more sophisticated sound sometimes when you don't move all the notes. So this is the top 3 notes going to diminished notes where the E stayed the same, and we can keep moving them like that. So they're on major notes. They go to diminished notes because these are the major notes. These are the diminished notes, right? So top 3 C6 notes go up. Now let's do it to F minor. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it gives you a little bit more time. Before the B section, right? Which changes key in this case. So those are some ways that you can use inversions, and you can use the Barry Harris movements at a higher level as well to fill time when you normally get 2 chords written the same. Now in both these lead sheets, deliberately there were not 2 chords written the same. Either I put in a fill on the first one or they've put in a fill. But it's important to realize that that B flat 7 really is an F minor 6 because it's that voicing we would want to use on it. It is a substitution for that 4 minor 6. And that means that if you choose to play the B flat 7, you can still use the F minor 6 movements on it. One of Barry's movements is the minor 6 on the 5th of a dominant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that. So if I take the same stuff and put the B flat down the bottom, fine. I varied that movement just a little bit by mistake, but hopefully you got the idea. So hope you got something out of that. That's how you start to make movements when you get 2 chords the same. Practice inversions first. That's a fantastic way to feel, especially for new people. And also start to practice the major 6 diminished and minor 6 diminished movements. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed that, we have plenty more about movement, voicings, improvisation, tunes, help from me on Jazz Skills for Members. Hope to see you there. See you on the next one of these as well. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.